I don't know how many cases would actually be dealt with the government where 40-year-old men are convicted. There is no conviction anyways. What goes on in the mind? I mean, we all know the fact that this is just going to be a piece of legislation. Nothing is going to happen on the ground. We are very good at making laws. But take us through exactly what will go through the mind of youngsters when they suddenly get to know that this is an illegal act. Is this going to stop them? Are teenagers going to stop having sex because the government deems so?
See, the thing is, first I would like to, put across one point. I think there is a lot of generation gap between the policymakers and the end users here. People sitting there are thinking that, they're thinking in they are totally in different world.
Yes.
Because if you see, the age of puberty has been preponed. The fact that our children are getting matured much earlier.
12 if I'm not wrong now.
No, 10. 10, imagine.
Okay.
Now you can check with gynecologists. They are coming, they tell us that the mothers are bringing their daughters as young as 10 years, saying that they started menstruating. So that on one hand shows that our children are getting matured at much earlier age.
Yes.
And plus you are asking somebody to kill his natural instinct. I'm not saying that teenagers should go for sex, but the fact remains that if there is a group where boys and girls are there, the attraction has to be mutual. It is mutual thing. But if you think that you are going to put your children behind bars, then I think lots of children will be going behind bars.
Gopi Shankar from Madurai joins us. Gopi, if you're there on the line, go ahead. Let us know what you think about this new move by the government.
Yeah, namaste, sir.
Yeah.
Thing is, rising of age of consent for sex from 16 to 18 must be seen as a step back, not a forward movement. At a time when the puberty is known to be setting in much earlier than in the past, and when social mores are getting easier about sexuality, this looks like an attempt to roll the clock back, and this is clearly not going to prevent young adults from exploring their sexuality. Especially, I'm working with sexual minorities.
Okay.
In this case, all it will do is provide a scope for undue harassment for teenagers, including in consensual sex, of course.
Yes.
And the way to go is more sex education and counseling, I believe.
Yes, Gopi, I absolutely agree with you, and I want to deal with that point. I want to deal with that point. What I want to know from you is very simply, teenagers will go ahead. They will have their exploratory sex. Would you think that sexual...
It's a normal human instinct. And they, at this age, believe in experimentation, exploration.
And this law is not going to stop them?
No.
But it can be misused against them?
No, it will be misused. It will be misused, and you will have all police walas, doing their routine stuff, harassing people, making money as part of corruption. So I think it's a regressive step. There's no doubt about it. The other thing here is the need of sex education in schools is the need of the hour.
This bill is stated as protection of child against abuse, etc., etc.
Child from a child.
How is raising the bar from 16 to 18 going to prevent child abuse? Kindly explain it.
No, it is not possible. I think, as I told you, that maybe their intention was not that, but actually it's a regressive step. The other thing here is...
I think they didn't think too much before they passed this particular section. I think they didn't realize the consequences of what they were going to do.
Yes.
And in fact, what they also didn't realize was that, in fact, even now, the law is being misused to put false charges of rape, to put false charges of kidnapping, and that will increase.
And the provisions that we have are not anyways used. Narayanan joins us from Chennai. Go ahead, Narayan.
From Bangalore.
Okay, go ahead.
What is the age limit for the marriage, legal marriage for a boy and a girl?
18 and 21.
18 and 21.
But as per rape...
So your point being, sir,
8 to 21. Now they say that 18 years can have sexual, activities. So do you mean to say that even before marriage they can have sexual activities?
Yes, we mean so, sir.
That is what this generation gap all about. This is what I was trying to say.
So you think it's a wrong thing? You think it's a wrong thing? It shouldn't happen?
Pardon, please?
Do you think sex before marriage is absolutely wrong? Teenagers shouldn't explore. There should be absolute. The government is doing absolutely the right thing by saying no sex before 18.
No sex before 18. But you say that the marriage age is 21.
Okay.
So you mean to say that even before marriage they can have sexual activities?
Okay, I get your point. I'll talk about your point. Dr. Sridhar also joins us. Okay, we've got somebody who at least admits to the fact that the government is doing a good job. We'll talk about that. Dr. Sridhar, first, go ahead, sir. All right, we lost that line, but we will have these points also that will keep coming in, that there would be a lot of parents who would say, what's wrong in it? It protects us. Will this sense of security that, okay, now it is outlawed, my children are safe, is that going to happen?
No. I think what is far more important is to teach children safe sex. I think, or to teach them that, you should have serious relationships, and to teach them the value of relationships rather than, criminalizing a relationship or an act.
But you will have a little bit of those conservative people also.
Absolutely.
What is the age of marriage, he asked me? 18 and 21. So should the age of boys for having sex be 21 now?
No. I think I was always of the opinion that the very fact that the age of marriage for a girl is 18 and the boy is 21 is itself discriminatory. I think that a boy's age should also be 18. I mean, it's a minimum age. Consider, we don't think it's ideal for people to get married, and in any case we think that you should disconnect between marriage and sex.
Let's take one last call. Mr. Seth from Mumbai is calling us. Go ahead, Mr. Seth.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
I think we should justify this stand by the government, because this is going to protect lots of girls who are being forced into sex workers, and a lot of sex rackets are going on where the girls are underage.
But do you think that this law would be enforced? Is it implementable? How do you think it's going to prevent girls? We already have laws.
Once the laws are coming into effect, they should be implemented. Otherwise, there are a lot of exploitations going on in the society against the children.
Okay, one last word. Word, is it going to stop exploitation? That's what the bill is supposed to do. Will this help?
Will this particular clause help in stopping exploitation? No. The clause needs to be more nuanced. It is exploitative only if the man is much older.
Yes.
It is exploitative in certain conditions in which, anyway our trafficking laws should address. But two young people engaging in sexual activity is not an exploitative activity. We should recognize it as a reality, as something that happens, and give protection to these children.
20 seconds.
It could be morally wrong, but legally it should not be.
Okay, morally wrong, legally it should not be, and there's a huge scope of difference obviously between what is moral, what is legal. Thank you for joining us here on Headlines today.